Hi guys, what a great day you had today. You did so well in class. And I want to make sure you're on the right video. We're in section 1.5 part 2. It's actually page 14 in your note packet, and it says at the top definition of an angle bisector. It doesn't actually say 1.5 part 2. I decided to actually make it a part 2. All right, so let's talk about an angle bisector. So we have talked about that word bisector, and a bisector cuts something into two equal parts. So an angle bisector is actually something that's going to divide an angle into two equal parts. The actual definition is an angle bisector is a line, segment, or ray, most of the time a ray, that divides an angle into two congruent angles. So in the picture I gave you, that middle one, we're going to say, is the angle bisector. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to mark the angles as congruent. So if I see two angles congruent and they're being broken up by a ray, then I can say that ray is the angle bisector. All right, so how do we use this? Well, here's an example of using an angle bisector to find an angle measure. What would be given to you is that, look at it, ray CH bisects angle JCZ. So JCZ is this angle right here, right? And it's saying CH bisects it. That makes these two angles congruent. And I would go ahead, based on that given information, I'd mark my angles congruent. All right, it says then if the measure of angle JCH, so this angle right here is 42, it wants us to find the measure of angle JCZ. So it wants the entire angle. All right, well, we're smart here. We know that if things are congruent, that means that they're equal. So if this side is 42, well then HCZ has to be 42 as well. And then I can use the angle addition postulate to add the two angles together. So 42 plus 42 gives me 84. So the measure of angle JCZ would be 84. Now you got to be really careful because I could ask you for so many different things. In this case, I asked you for the entire angle. I could have just asked you for angle HCZ, and that would have been easy enough, just doubling it or just making it equal. All right, let's make it a little harder. All right, CH bisects angle JCZ. All right, so this is the angle bisector. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my given, mark my diagram, making the angles congruent. All right, so in this case now, I just made it a tiny bit harder. What did I do? Well, I gave you the entire angle. I told you the whole thing is 112. Well, if the whole thing's 112, well then, if I take 112 and I divide it by 2, then I'm going to get each angle. All right, so 112 divided by 2 is what? Let's see, 56. So 56. So the measure of angle HCZ, this angle right here, so the measure of angle HCZ would be 56 degrees. All right, so let's just recap. An angle bisector cuts an angle, a bigger angle, into two equal parts. If you are told that a ray or a segment or a line bisects an angle, you go ahead and you mark your two angles congruent, and then you solve for the missing piece that you're looking for. Now tomorrow in class, we're going to be doing this with algebra. Okay, so I want you guys to be making sure you're ready to go tomorrow because this was a very short video. If at this point you have to review anything up to this point, so 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, or 1.5.1, this would be a good time to do that, okay? Kind of a catch-up night. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.